Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Shamong Township meeting of August 5. Sue, would you please read the sunshine statement? Lisa, you going to do the honors tonight?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
Thank you. We'll do the roll call, please.
Mr. Diamond?
Here.
Mr. DeCroce?
Here.
Ms. Mazitis?
Here.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Here.
And Mr. Woods?
Here.
We invite you all to join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To start out tonight's meeting, we have a couple of proclamations. One is recognizing William Carrick for his years of service to our community, and his spouse, Chris, is here. I'm going to ask Chris to step up. And the second is going to be recognizing the organizations and volunteers who assisted with the Mines Spring fire, which was, I guess, about a month ago now. Chris and John, come on up, please. This proclamation is recognizing Bill Carrick for his service to Shamong Township. Whereas Bill and his wife Chris, longtime residents of Shamong, raised their two sons, Billy and Casey, in this community, and Samantha and Billy went out for a couple of years together.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they went to prom. Whereas Bill began his life of service in 1975 as a police patrolman in Hoboken, New Jersey, working through the ranks until finally retiring as Director of Public Safety. And whereas he served the Office of Emergency Management, deputy with John since his appointment in 2017. Whereas while Bill, as he was known, served in the capacity of law enforcement liaison to the Shamong LEPC and the OEM coordinator, and provided his expert insight as a former police officer, county SWAT commander, detective, and public safety director of Mount Holly. He provided training and resources to the emergency management staff, the Indian Mills Volunteer Fire Company, and the Pinelands Community Emergency Response. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Shamong Township Committee recognizes William Bill Carrick for his dedicated years of service and loyalty to the residents and community of Shamong. Asked to come up and take a picture with the council. All right, Don, come on up, Keith, come on up, and Dan. You know what it's yeah, I think Denver, I've been nice to see you. So this is a proclamation of the Shamong Township Committee recognizing the organizations and volunteers who assisted with the June 13th, 2025 Mines Spun, not Spring, right? Spun. All right, what's the story behind that?
For a wet area.
So we have a number of organizations.
Want to read all that.
You want me to read all that? Tell me who you represent.
New Jersey Forest Fire Service.
And Chief
Emails Fire Company.
John.
Shamong Township Office first.
Plus we have a number of other ones which I'm gonna have in the proclamation, but I'm not gonna read them in. Whereas on Friday, June 13th, 2025, a wildfire was spotted by a private aircraft in a remote portion of the Wharton State Forest in the vicinity of Tuckerton Road in the proximity to the Carranza Moor. And whereas the New Jersey Fire Service set up an incident command post at the Atsign Ranger and station working in coordination with the many area fire companies and safety agencies to protect life and property within the area and township. Whereas as the fire spread over the 6,400 acres and smoke conditions became heavy, wildland, upland, urban, suburban, oh my gosh.
Wildland urban interface.
Thank you. Walker Protection Task Force were set up to guard against embers and the potential spreading into neighboring communities. Some evacuations occurring as precaution. We didn't lose any structures whatsoever, correct, sir? Whereas numerous volunteers and multiple support agencies work together to coordinate, protect, preserve, and assist each other and keep the public informed. We want to thank the American Red Cross for providing meals, water, to feed and hydrate the hundreds of volunteers working to protect Shamong Township building safety. Therefore, be it proclaimed that the Shamong Township Committee recognizes the above organizations and volunteers who work diligently to help protect our citizens and property, including our beloved Ward State Forest, in their efforts to control and contain the mine sponge wildfire. Thank you. Let's come on, we'll grab a picture together. You guys stand up so you can be in the picture. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you, Chief. Brian, nice to meet you.
Let's check on it.
Thank you, Josh. Okay, at this point in the meeting, we're going to open it up for public comment. If anybody has anything they'd like to say, please come on up, introduce yourself, say where you live, and you will be heard.
For the record, it says agenda items only. Hear that or?
Well, I mean, if you have something on your mind, you will be heard. Just ask you to be mindful of the time limit.
Hi, good evening. Anastasia Zakara, 1 Stony Creek Court.
Hi, Anastasia.
Hi, just 2 things. I'm hoping to get an update on the solar farm and if there's any information whatsoever as to exactly what's happening with the dispensary on 206.
Okay.
I have some people inquiring about that.
Yep, on 206, they're before the Pinelands Committee. They're waiting for some improvements or some permission. Evidently, there were some things that are done since 1980 that were not recorded properly. And so they're waiting for the Pinelands to address that issue. And if you're familiar with them, it can take a while, and that's what they've been kind of bogged down. And I'll turn it over to our solicitor to give an update as to the solar field. I'll just say we have met with the Atlantic City Electric, and Doug will bring you up to speed as to where we are.
So we actually had a couple of meetings over this past month by Zoom with Atlantic City Electric representatives and Bighorn Solar reps. Bighorn is trying to push forward because they're concerned about program expiration with federal funding or not funding. So we had 2 meetings, I think a lot of success from those meetings. The big issue that came out of it is in order for them to move forward, they needed what I'll call, for a lack of a better term, studies that would tell Bighorn whether it was feasible to move forward based upon capacity of the system, the electric system around them. And the reports came back positive on both parcels, the landfill and the Murphy's Pit.
Oh, okay.
So their engineers have that information now. They're pushing forward. I did reach out late last week and again today to Steve Goen, who's the attorney for Bighorn, because the last meeting we had, I asked them if they could give us a timeline on sort of what they see the procedure to be next. They indicated with respect to the Murphy's Pit site that they would hope to close on that property early this coming year. I suggested to them if they could do it before year's end, that would be even better. And they said they would try to do that. I did not get that sort of summary report from Steve, but we're speaking to them regularly. So I will follow up again, and I hope to have more of a report this coming month.
Okay, good. And just to clarify, on the dispensary, that's still the same initial company that made application, or has it changed hands?
Yeah, there are several other entities that are now involved. They have partnerships agreement, as I
Oh, okay.
understand it, with some other entities.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Anybody else have any questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Tag team. Bill Ryan, One Stony Creek. So two issues. One being with the recent passage on the state side of the state budget, there actually was tax relief put into that play, but it requires people to have their this tax parcel information. When you go on to fill out either the anchor or the stay NJ or those, it requires you to have, I'm just making sure that the township, if people call in or they can get that information quickly and easily so that they can process, the rebates, because up to 50% for
All the
certain
tax-
individuals.
All their tax information is available on our website.
Okay.
They just log in, they can search it by address, their name, or block and lot.
Perfect. Good to know. The other thing is, I missed last meeting, but the prior meeting in June, it was, you went into executive session afterwards to talk about the fire truck, the fire department funding. Just kind of question as to why. Executive session is really limited to talking about personnel, contracts, or other things. That really wasn't that type of situation. So I would hope in the future when you're talking about tax dollars, and I think it's good you gave money. I think you should have given more, but I'm glad you did. But it should have been an open debate, is all I'm saying. So
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else have any comments? Yes, sir. Chris, the trooper is still here. Would you like him to hear what you have to say?
Oh, that's up to him. He's heard a lot what I had to say.
Okay, Trooper, can you come on in for a moment? Thank you for being here this evening. Yes, sir.
So for the past 14 months that myself and other neighbors have attended, I haven't looked forward to a single meeting. That's a little different today. I'm actually very excited about being here. 35 days ago, we brought 72% of the neighborhood to come sit before you. We brought 13 individuals from Oakshade, McKendaman, Blueberry, Cranberry, and Strawberry that have been affected by it as well. So we had almost 50 people. There were standing room only every chair, and we challenged. And I know there was a little bit of a problem with the power that went out. And if you listen to the YouTube feed and recording, you have about 14 seconds of me, and that's unfortunate. Not because I want to hear me, but because there were a lot of things that were brought up. So the reason I'm looking forward to this meeting is I want to hear what you're doing. It's been 35 days. I know what the state police have done. I live next door to it. I've watched it. I've listened to it. My neighbors know what the state police have done. I know what the Burlington County prosecutor's doing. I know the delays that are taking place at the county level, the local level, the detention level. Now the excitement is, how do I tell the young lady that came with me this evening, a product of the elementary school, a product of the middle school, a product of Seneca, my product, a third generation Shamong Indian Mills resident who graduates college in December and does not want to come back to your town. So the real question here is 35 days. Sense the flippantness, sense the frustration, sense the sarcasm, sense the elevation in my attitude. I can't wait to hear what all of you were doing for 35 days, because 72% of an affected neighborhood got off their butts and came here. Boy, you got a lot of answering. I'm excited. So I'm going to step back and I want to hear what's being done. I know exactly what the state police have done, because I don't think, and I'm not going to say his name out loud. If he wants to come up and he can say it. Dave and I don't think there has been a 24-hour period of time where these men and women have not been in our neighborhood. I don't know all of you very well. I know the mayor. I've known Ms. Honorado for a very long time. I know Doug and his family very well. But I want to hear from some other people. You know what? 72% of my neighborhood wants to hear. And the only reason it wasn't 100 is some of the individuals are scared to death. And I'm sure the gentleman here, the trooper, has a lot that he can offer. I'm sure the mayor can offer a lot. I'm sure you can log on to NJ Courts and offer a lot to yourself as well. I would love to tell you everything's better. It might be quieter with one less ATV. But I want everyone listening and everyone that listens to this YouTube video, audio, a day from now, a month from now, Myself and the neighbors are absolutely 100% not against ATVs and dirt bikes. I had them. I rode for Meteor. I set the trails in this town. I love them, but you got to be respectful. You have to be respectful of both law, both neighbors, and the idea behind this town. That is not why myself and the neighbors came up here to do away with ATVs, do away with dirt bikes. We're here to do away with the behavior. Drive through my neighborhood tonight. In fact, let's all go over there now, because when we drove over here today, it is a full-blown shop. Full-blown shop. And we're not talking about fixing ATVs. They're fixing something else. So much so that you've got a young lady here that doesn't want to come back to the town that she has only known. So you're not just answering to me. I told you last month, this wasn't an individual, this was now public. You'll still get your tax dollars. Somebody will buy my house someday, but you're losing generational community. You're losing something far bigger than revenue. You're losing something far bigger than a property sale. You're losing what this town was. And you're losing it really fast. I'm looking forward to what you have to say.
Anybody have any questions or comments? I've talked about this a lot, so I'll just say briefly that we've made a lot of progress. If somebody's staying at their house and they're doing, illegal activity, which the police, the troopers are all over, the townships can only do, Chris, as you know, we've talked about this, what we can do with the ordinances. Unfortunately, that's been postponed several times. Our solicitor's been on probably 20 hours. He's been in that court. I've monitored those as well. I've done what I can to reach out to the prosecutor ethically. That's coming, that day will be coming up. They're going to have to cut the grass, which they did. I understand. I saw they cut a little bit on Chris's side. Still on Dave's side, it looks, it's not kept up. But that's what the town can do. I don't know what, the members of the board would do by going out and driving your neighborhood. I don't have a problem doing that, as you know. I won't ask them to go do that, to put themselves at risk, but I have no problem doing that whatsoever. So the town is on, as far as the ordinance is concerned, we're on it. And the lady's playing games, and there's not a lot we can do other than, I can tell you the judge, I believe, has had enough, as you would have seen in the article that was written in the Pine Barrens.
I appreciate that comment. What I think is frustrating, and now a little bit maybe more than frustrating, is those are the comments that we've had for months.
What do you think these members of the board should be doing that they're not doing?
I don't know. That's why I'm here. And it's not even to call anyone out. I'm begging. And maybe I don't understand the political structure, and maybe the liaison who speaks to a community or to an individual should only be the mayor. I don't know. I just need, my neighbors need, individuals need help. And I read that article, which is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. You have, and Sue can probably present the information to you. There are people selling in that neighborhood. There are houses turning over. One went up for sale today. Went up for sale today at well below market value. Now go ask the son of the owner as to why they posted it where they did. Because they can't get the value. Google the address, anything Woodgate, Sandstone, or Ironwood. It instantly comes up the nightmare that is going on in this town. And I think John Longshaw said it best. This is the kind of thing that can bleed over and make destruction. Destruction to the name and the value for people. I don't want to leave. I was born here. I don't want my daughter to not have any interest in coming back to the only town she's ever known. That doesn't work for me. But that's where we are. So you ask a great question. What should everyone be doing? I don't know. I just know that Dave and I and other neighbors, we just got to keep coming because don't want to be forgotten. Metaphorically.
Yeah, you will not be forgotten. I think we put the pin in the balloon. I think we're a long way. You probably would agree, but having
If
learned.
that pin's in the balloon, then we need to pull it out with a sledgehammer.
Yeah. We have some for everybody else in the neighborhoods, and we have some undesirables now in Shamong. So as I've indicated several months ago, lock your doors, lock your sheds, put up a motion sensor camera. call the state troopers if you see something that's going on.
I also thought we were looking at doing like a neighborhood watch though for that area. I mean,
They started.
okay.
Yeah.
$8,500 we're in on this. $8,500 that we're into this, that we have paid for to start neighborhood watch. You know what we get in return? Stare downs, intimidation, and harassment. We don't say a word. We don't do anything to anyone. We're just present. We're just present, and it is a joke, an absolute joke. We did start one.
Yeah, so I love it. You guys have e-bikes and the great lights and the whole bit. You know, your hands are somewhat tied, right? If you go do something, you're the guy that'll get arrested and you have a lot to lose. We're in the same situation. We have to just follow the rules and hope these people are going to be as stupid as they've been and they're going to go away and we're not going to see them for a while. Okay. Now there's new talent coming to the town. On Friday night, there was, you know, an unsavory character walking around my office with a bloody head, and it was called into the troopers. But by the time they got there, he was gone. And there's some other people that are not from our neighborhood that are around, but the troopers are aware of it. So, you know, it's limited as to what you can do because you have to protect yourself and your family. And it's the same for the ladies and gentlemen up here. I can't ask them to go out to your neighborhood. You invite me over for a barbecue, I'll be there. I've driven through your neighborhood a lot. You guys have seen me. So, you know, what the town has done is what it can do. And we can't go up there and make that lady move out, right? But she keeps continuing to do, if there's illegal activity going on there, you know, this is going to end at some point. So you just need to make sure you're safe, your family's safe, and your neighbors, and you watch out for each other. I wish I was the king and could make a, you know, declaration that this was going to be solved tomorrow. It's not, but we're a long way along to getting this thing.
This is not some.
I have as well. I know you have, Chris. So there might be other issues going on, right? So we're beyond that now. We've offered to help her, cut her grass, all that stuff. We're beyond that. So, Trooper, anything you'd like to add to this?
We do have other investigations going on. I don't really want to get into specifics because this is recorded. And there are other, I guess, special units that are working in the area as well. Some of the things that they're doing we're not privileged to knowing because it's a lot of undercover type work. But just know that, you know, like we're always out there. Every single trooper at the station, from lieutenant down to the newest trooper knows exactly. I mean, I think I've spoken to you a couple times.
Yeah, I know every trooper, man.
Yeah, they're aware of the situation. We're out there, and everything we can do, every angle we can work it, we're working.
Trooper, thank you. We appreciate you coming. I know you have other things to do. So feel free to, whenever you need to leave, feel free to do that. We appreciate you. Please let the lieutenant know as well. Ryan, you have something to say?
As far as property fines and ordinances from the township, do we have a list of how many times this has been delayed in the courts to give people a good picture of, you know, just how much the courts have delayed this through different defense tactics, things that are outside of our boundaries.
Yeah.
50.
So it's, yeah,
15 times.
and just so everyone's aware, we have compiled that list to make sure it's before the court for this month's coming session. We've also gotten a request for all of the discovery to be reproduced. What I would say about the system is that the defendant has been quite artful about how she obtains adjournments. The one public defender that was assigned had a guilty plea worked out, and she fired him to not proceed with that plea. So that bought her another month, and when she came back, she didn't have an attorney again. So it's been a constant sort of struggle through the system, which I think that she, again, has been adept at handling. But I really do believe at this point we are, to point out to the mayor's point, I think the bigger issue with the criminal process, with the county, with the state police, is really where the meat of this matter is, and we've made huge progress over that on this past month. I don't think the individual is going to be back on the street anytime soon. And relative to the zoning violations, we're going to keep pressing on those. And I think this coming month, the judge has made it very clear that regardless of whether she has counsel or not, she's been given every opportunity. They're going to proceed. And if she doesn't want to plead guilty, there's going to be a trial.
That's what he said, and I think that's the correct, the correct position. There's two things. There's the civil action going on, which are the ordinances violations, and the criminal actions with TRO violations and other issues that involve the mother. They were commingled, so we've asked the judge to separate those so that one can proceed. For example, there's no reason why our ordinance violation can't proceed because she's not entitled to counsel for those. So the judge has said one way or the other, as Doug has said, this will be tried this month. So she'll either be found guilty and, proper fines and maybe even a jail sentence, or she'll be found not guilty. So we're at the end of that rope, but she's gone in several times. I want to hire a lawyer. I can't find a lawyer. I'm ill. I've, been delayed because of that. And so the judge of necessity has to give that kind of person a little bit of leeway, but I think we're at the end of that. Okay, anybody else?
Yes, I'd like to say something. I do drive through your neighborhood a lot. And I did witness him cutting the grass on the one side, on the right side of the corner. So I was aware that he was cutting the grass and.
I can tell you why they cut the grass when it's not recorded.
Okay,
And it's not why you think.
but our eyes are open and I visually seen them cutting the grass. So you might not see us driving through there.
I very much appreciate that.
But I'm driving through. I don't live far from there and I do drive through there often.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think anyone up here is happy with how the process has played out and how slow it's been, how many delays. I find it to be a statewide problem. We live in a very soft on crime state, and I don't think anyone here is happy about that. So unfortunately, we haven't had to deal with this often in Shamong, and now we're seeing firsthand, those policies come home to roost. And I know the mayor has spoken about this every single day, and everybody up here is extraordinarily concerned, and that doesn't make you feel better, obviously.
It actually does.
Or anybody. I know, but you still have to live with it. It's a nightmare. You still have to live with it. No apology is going to make your life better, and everyone here is disgusted. So
36 hours.
So one last point that, without revealing too much, is that this is not the only issue that Burlington County is dealing with. And because of our investigations, it's now sprawled out so that we think that we're going to get greater control. But my job is to get this cleaned up in Shamong, and I am focused on that as well as the people up here. And I know you've gone through hell, you guys, and with your families, and I think you're taking the right action. We're doing what we can do. They're slow learners. They need to pack up and move out to wherever they want to go and have that behavior, but it's not going to be tolerated in Shamong. So, okay, anybody else have anything? Yes, ma'am, come on up.
Here to talk about cats.
Excellent. You're welcome back. You were here.
Yeah, Chrissy Kalor, Lexington Court in Shamong.
See, welcome back.
Thank you. Just on behalf of Out of the Woods Rescue, just wanted to give an update for the community. In June, we have spayed and neutered 15 cats for the community. 8 of those were kittens that we were able to rehome into indoor homes, get them off the street, not producing any longer. And then we're working with a resident on Atzion Road in Shamong who has 14 feral cats that we have scheduled appointments for in September.
Wow.
So please continue to give out our phone number and information. Ed contacted us through the township where he got our information.
Awesome.
So,
We appreciate what you're doing.
yeah, sure. We can't help everybody. We had a few people who just wanted to get rid of their neighbors' cats, and we said we can't do that. But for those who have feral cat problems, we're certainly happy to help the community.
Thanks, Chris.
So,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you.
Happy that you're in Shamong.
Dave has any cats?
John, do you have anything you want to add at this point? Chief, do you have anything you'd like to add? Okay, all right. At that point, everybody had their opportunity to speak. Young lady, would you like to say anything? Okay, great. All right, thank you all. At this point, we're gonna close the portion of public comment, and thank you all for your comments and for coming out this evening. All right, now, you're welcome. Good evening. Good night, Chris. Next, we're going to go to items for discussion and possible official action, and we'll move as quickly as we can. The approval of the minutes for July 1st, 2025. Thank you, Brian. Regular and executive session minutes. Everybody have an opportunity to review, and if so, and no questions, can we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the July meeting.
Thank you.
second it.
Thank you.
Ms. Mazitas?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Woods, are you?
Abstain, yeah.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes. Next is the Borough Code GIF Fund Commissioners Report of July 15th, 2025. Kind of progress did we make there?
Zero lost time accidents for Shamong Township year to date. Right now, the 2025 Wellness Incentive Program has been submitted as of July, so we're waiting for our reimbursement for that. We're expecting a full $500 reimbursement, which was available. Personnel policies and procedures manual, biannual review, and an update distributed and due by October 7th. So we'll be working on that and have it ready for the October 7th meeting. Managers and supervisors required training due by November 1st. So far, the clerk, deputy clerk, CFO, TACO, and Public Works Department have been trained already. And anti-harassment training offered to volunteers and employees by November 1st, 2025.
Thank you, Lisa. Anybody have any questions or comments? All right, next we'll go to the annual report of the Civil Rights Policy.
So every year in January, we pass a resolution for our position that the committee and this township has on civil rights. Happy to report that there's no violations reported to the administration. The resolution was shared with all the shared service agreements we have with various municipalities, which provide or receive services from us. Indian Mills Volunteer Fire Company, OEM, CERT teams, Tabernacle Rescue Squad, and IMA also received copies of this. In 2025 is a biannual year scheduled to update our employee manual, as Lisa just alluded to. So we will be updating that with all the recommended changes, and that'll be reviewed by our solicitor, Doug Heinhold, for the committee's review and approval. We anticipate that to occur in October. We had no instances of retaliation reported against the township administration, and then full-time staff view and have had a chance to view the anti-harassment, or it's been made available to them, as Lisa just said. The administrator meets with the required, administration meets this requirement by this report for item 7 of the resolution, and this township committee is unequivocally supports and is committed to the enforcement of the resolution. And advertisement as required occurred on January 14th, 2025.
Thank you, Sue. At this point, I want to recognize Jay Epps. He's my neighbor that has been in Shamong. Is it 34 years, Jay, would you say? Close to it. So Jay was the first person I met when I moved to Shamong, when our road was a dirt road. And we recognized his wife. Was it? Yeah. Okay, good. Who passed away? Is it 2 years?
Yeah, at September 19th will be 3 years.
Wow.
And I want to say on behalf of Joanne Epps and myself, thank you for recognizing her. We moved out here in Shamong, understanding that we were going to be in a safe neighborhood, better than she was a president of Temple University, and we had an opportunity to live in North Philadelphia. So Shamong, North Philly it was an easy choice. So I want to say thank you for recognizing her, for all the great work she has done. And it'll be 3 years, September 19th. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, Jay.
Mike. And thanks for, the mayor has brought my trash in, has done a lot of things to help me out understanding. I had a stroke, lost my wife. So Shamong has been a very family and neighborhood oriented place to live. And just want to be supportive of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. We appreciate you coming out. Next, we're going to go to number 4, which is appoint Gary Welsh. Remember him? He's going to be our temporary equipment operator. What is bringing Mr. Welsh out of retirement?
He's starting over again.
Yeah.
So this would be appointment as a temporary equipment operator effective back to July 1st. We needed coverage with Steve Mitchell on vacation and Lester had resigned as of June. So Bobby was left by himself. So Gary had come in to help out and fill in. So this is just the appointment. And he will be working on an as-needed basis.
You know he comes in and just do this without getting paid. You know that, right? Sue, do we need a motion for this? Okay, we need a motion to bring our friend Gary Welsh back as a temporary equipment operator if there are no questions.
Which includes snowplow.
Yes,
Make
hopefully.
a motion to have Gary come in as a temporary, especially for snow plowing.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Ms. Mazitis?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. DeCroce?
I vote yes. All right, next is an issue that we're addressing. We've had people knocking on people's doors in the neighborhoods. In Shamong, in order to do that, you need to have a permit. So we're going to put up some signs on the when you're welcome to Shamong that you need to go and file for a permit. If somebody bangs on your door, you don't feel like answering, obviously don't. If you do, get a card from them, ask if there's a permit that they have, and then give Sue a call or Lisa a call, and we'll follow up with a letter and a call, which we've done to make sure that they comply. The other thing that you can do is you can put a no solicitation sign on your front yard, and that will keep them away. So if anybody has any, hopefully we'll keep them away. But I'm tired of the mosquito guy and the solar guy banging on my door. Does anybody have any questions or comments? If not, can we have a motion?
No motion needed, just reporting on that.
Great.
Signs were installed.
The
Excellent.
signs were installed, 2 on 206, 2 on Oakshade, 1 on Stokes, and 1 on At Sign.
Perfect. Thank you for your quick action. Next is the employee educational seminar request for Lisa Jordan, who is here. Most of you are meeting for the first time. First is a GIF MSI Leadership Academy program at an estimated travel cost of $25, and New Jersey Planning Officials mandatory course for new board members at a cost of $145. Any questions or comments? If not, can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Mr. Wilkinson.
Thank you. Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitis?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, next is the approval of an emergency repair to the Shawnee Lane Inlet X2 at a cost of $10,700. Joe, do you want to give us some?
So I received a call from Sue and I went out there, met Public Works. There was a sinkhole in the road, 24 inches, clear through to the bottom of the inlet. The inlet wall was compromised, so the entire inlet had to be rebuilt along with 4 or 5 feet of asphalt surrounding the inlet, at least on one side.
Okay.
So I had a contractor who just completed this kind of work in another town, so I reached out to them for pricing to do, and 2 or 3 days later, I think it was, it was done.
Okay, great. Thank you for your quick action on that. Anybody have any questions or comments? If not, can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitis?
Yes.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, next is the Chief Financial Officer's report on the bond application notes, Series 2025.
So this is for our annual sale of bond anticipation notes. This was listed as a 2016 road program in the amount of $90,000. 2018 acquisition, this was for the PMP Cemetery for $71,250. The 2022 road program for $630,000. And the 2022 acquisition of the fire truck, which was $663,341. So this was purchased Piper Sandler and Company purchased the bond anticipation notes at an interest of 4% plus a premium of $2,981.91. The net interest of 3.79%.
Yeah, great. All right. All things considered, not a bad interest rate. Anybody have any questions or comments about that? Okay, we don't need a motion for that?
No, just a report.
Perfect. All right, next is the 2025-26 tax rate and tax bill update. As everybody probably realizes that pays their own taxes, that was coming up shortly in the next week or two. That's
Yes.
been delayed a little bit because of state action. Can you give us an update on that, Lisa?
Yes, so we're finally getting numbers in. So tax bills are waiting to be printed and mailed out. The date is tentative to be set, but it's expected to be in September for the extended due date for the tax bills. The average assessed home is $311,000. The local tax increase for that was $308.
Total tax, not the increase.
Oh, I'm sorry. With a penny tax increase per average home of $31.
Not 308, but 31 bucks.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. We're just giving you what the value of a penny is, but the average assessed value of home only went up 60 cents. The real increases really occurred down further the line in this outline.
So the township increase is 59 cents. If you look above that, the Shamong Township Board of Ed increase is $118.80. Lenape Regional is $122.76. And the county is $151.90, which gets you to the total of $394.06.
We love the pie chart in your meeting packets. We put some extras up there so that just a visual of how our tax dollars are being spent, and it's not a surprise. Every year we go through this as to where the taxes go.
So as I like to say, we run this town on about a nickel out of the dollar. And yeah, that's in good measure to our staff and to Sue, who keeps their finger on what's going on and helping us to save money wherever we can. So the big issue in this, in our little town are the school taxes. We need people who are interested and knowledgeable to run for the school board. So if you have any desire whatsoever to have a great impact, maybe even greater than being up here, that would be something that I would suggest, because they're still operating on OPM. You know what that is, Bill? Other people's money, and they're just an institution and a machine, and they're cranking it out. So we need to get people with some talent there. And if anybody's here interested, please see me and we'll make sure that happens. Could be a good thing for you, Jay.
Mayor, I'd also like to report on the fact that the Shamong Township has not had an increase since 2017, and then it was a 1 penny increase. We are projecting a 2-cent increase for the local purpose tax in 2026, which would be about $62 per year per household on the average assessed home.
I want to thank Lisa and Sue and everybody up here for keeping the local tax increase at under $1. So that's, I think, a very amazing achievement in this day and age. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, next we're going to go to resolutions. 2025 R-73, granting the raffle license to the Indian Mills Historical Society. Neil, you want to give us an update on that?
So, in the Historical Society, we're going to have Shamong Day, which is October 4th. As part of that, we'd like to do a 50-50 raffle, and this is the beginning of that. So we need to get township approval first, and we can submit to the state to get our gaming number, I guess it is.
Okay.
And Aaron, who's in the audience, has been great in organizing all of that.
Thank you, Aaron. Anybody have any questions? You would like to say anything about that, Aaron?
Positive response from the community regarding Shamong Day. Everybody on the township has been super, super helpful. John, Chief. So thank you all. I'm looking forward to a really, really fun day for the town. It's shaping up to be a great event.
Excellent. Say the date again.
October 4th, rain date, October.
Okay, great. Anybody have any questions or comments?
If you have any issue with the raffle license, please reach out. I deal with that a lot through my office. So if there's any delay or.
Do we need a motion, Lisa?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Is Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Ms. Bizitis?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, next is 2025R-75, which authorization of newspapers for the publication of legal notices. So we recently had a law change, I understand, Sue, in that?
Yes, please report on that.
Yeah, so moving forward in 2026, the state statutes are changing because of, newspapers going digital. So they will be having all the public notices going digital also. From January 2026 to December 2026, we have to advertise twice a month in a paper print newspaper that will be posting our notices digitally. And then from January to May, we have to still continue to post as we do. And then after the May date, we can start doing the digital. But all year next year, twice a month, we will be noticing. So that way, anybody who does read the paper has plenty of opportunity to see that we'll be posting digitally.
Got it. Are we able to use what I would consider our local newspaper, which is the Pine Barrens Tribune, for those notices?
Yes, because we should have plenty of time, because they're not specific to when twice a month. So we can plan ahead because we know we have to do it twice a month, so we can reach out and make sure that it's set to their schedule.
All right, great.
How much money will this save if we do switch to doing it on the township website in May?
We don't have any rate charts from them in the way that like every ad gets priced out separately depending on how much is in it and if it has to be published as a legal notice or as a publication where they kind of block it out a little bit differently. I'm anticipating some savings, but we won't know until we really get into the weeds with Finance Tribune versus Burlington County Times.
I mean,
And-
if this
Oh,
ceases altogether.
Oh, going all together?
Not much.
Yeah, probably a couple $1,000s a year.
Okay.
Yeah, when everything's all said and done, because especially with the ordinances, I mean, when they're lengthy ordinances, Doug drafts us a summary to save money. Sometimes it's cheaper to pay Doug to summarize than it is to pay, $800 to the newspaper.
It's cheaper.
I stand corrected. So, we do cut costs that way when we can, but it's, yeah.
Any other questions or comments? If not, can we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Ms. Bizitis?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, next is 2025R-76. This authorizes the cancellation of property taxes for a totally disabled veteran for block 35.02, lot 41. This is something that we've addressed many, many times. We're trying to get the state to refund the local towns like ours for having this property tax cancellation. Yes, sir.
That's a question. That's for township portion only, or does that include all? Not opposed to anyone, but.
Yeah, property taxes. I don't think they.
Township only, not.
Total, yeah.
Total.
Yeah, full exemption.
When.
Yes.
Yes.
Makes you want to join the army. Or were you there already? All right. If there are no other questions, can we have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion for the authorization and cancellation of property.
Thank you.
I'll second.
And just for the record, this is for block 35.02, lot 41. It's for 15 Shawnee Trail. At this time, there's no refund due. There may be a partial refund at the next meeting.
Thank you, Lisa.
Ms. Bizitis?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, next is 2025R-77, which is authorization of amendment of resolution 2025R-68. And can you give us an update on that, what that resolution was?
Yeah, one of them was to add a hourly rate for a new hire, Keith Harrison, who started in July, and the other was to adjust rates down on our tax assessor due to negotiations with shared service agreements. So we just needed to update
Great, so we'll save a little money there.
well, the money was being picked up by the other townships, but yeah.
That's good, I like that. And if there's no other questions, can we have a motion for R-77?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Mr. Wilkinson,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Mazitas,
Yes.
Mr. Woods,
Yes.
and Mr. DeCroce.
Yes, 2025 R-78. This authorizes a lien against the property at Block 8.01, Lot 12.05 for cost of property maintenance performed by the township employees or contractors pursuant to Shamong Township Code at Chapter 136. If you don't take care of your property properly, at some point, the town's going to get involved, and that's what happened in this situation. And we're looking now to put a lien against the property for the work that the township did.
Yeah, so we're looking for approval for the lien, and we're also looking for approval to accept the quote that was received. So this property of 54 Bunker Hill Road, we have an extensive history for several years of it being abandoned and the property not kept up with. So there have been violations sent. There's been notices to let them know that they're not in compliance and that there will be this lien gone forward with if they didn't comply. So we've done numerous phone calls, emails, and mailings in attempt to get compliance. And this is stemming from numerous complaints from the neighbors. So the quote that we received was MVP Lawn Service in Medford. They had quoted $1,450 for the initial cleanup and $60 biweekly lawn maintenance for a total of $1,750. The second quote was from Harris Brothers in Hamilton. Their initial cleanup was $2,150 with $75 biweekly, and Timothy Landscaping was in no response. So as far as the quote, so the resolution to move forward with the lien, it would be for the amount of $1,750 for lawn care, $150 legal admin fees, and a total outstanding registration of vacant and abandoned property of $2,000. So the lien would be for the sum of $3,900.
Thank you, Lisa. Anybody have any questions or comments about that? If not, can we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilkinson,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Mazitas,
Yes.
Mr. Woods,
Yes.
and Mr. DeCroce.
Yes, final resolution, 2025 R-79, is a resolution of the Township of Shamong in the NREM foreclosure, and we're going to ask our solicitor about the difference between NREM and in persona, but authorizing the NREM foreclosure by the township solicitor of certain tax sale certificates held by the Township of Shamong. Give us a background on that? Not NREM.
Checking my Latin. Yeah, the in-rem procedure is available to municipalities, provided there are no other governmental entities involved, so we have a more streamlined foreclosure process. It's been a number of years since we've done an in-rem foreclosure process. You can see in the resolution, there are a number of properties listed. The municipality has asked the tax office to basically advise on everything that may be available. There are a couple that are strike-throughs. I just wanted to explain those. One on Stokes and Oak Shades, they have some environmental history, so we have not included that at this time. I will also point out that DRI is in the process of looking at the whole list to make sure that based upon public records, there's no known environmental issues. If they find anything, we'll let you know and we'll take that off the list and we'll pursue it. The other at the top of the list, the first two in block 8.01 are basically properties that are fully with power lines, PSE&G power lines over the top of them, not something that we would be interested in taking ownership or having responsibility for. So everything else, we're hopeful that we will, gain some property. Sometimes we have had success either holding them for our own acreage, selling them to neighboring property owners if they were interested in expanding their property a little bit. And then lastly, if they're large enough pieces of property and we don't have a use for them, we can also seek to try and sell it back to the market and see if we can generate some income from the municipality. Right now, they're not generating, we're not getting the tax dollars out of them. That's why they're in foreclosure. And so with this resolution, we'll start the process. Typically, anywhere from 6 months to a year to get through the in-rem foreclosure process. Any questions on that?
Nope. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? If, go ahead, Lisa.
Just to note, this is a total acreage that we would pick up if all the properties fall into it would be 91.181 acres.
Nice. Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, can we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Ms. Buzitis?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes, next we'll move on to the ordinances 2025-6, an ordinance to amend chapter 155 governing tree removal and replacement to add an exception for agricultural activity.
Do you want me to talk to that?
Yes, please.
So,
Okay.
I'm sure everybody remembers, we spent a lot of time on the tree removal ordinance, which is mandated as part of our DEP permitting process and is related to stormwater issues. We had a lot of discussion at that time about how different Shamong is than some other parts of the state where there is a need or a concern to ensure preservation of trees as it relates to stormwater. Where we are with the sandy soils and the pines, and given the typical large lots and abundance of trees and an aquifer beneath us, a lot of those issues really don't apply in Shamong. So we had a number of exceptions. This amendment would add another exception to the need to get a tree removal permit, and it's driven by agricultural need. It says any tree removal on land that is an agricultural use, provided the tree removal is being taken for agricultural purposes such as clearing additional land for planting or pasture. We have a resident who wants to do exactly that. And so rather than have them go through the process that would currently be mandated for them under the ordinance, this would provide an exception for them. I think there's a lot of logic under the sort of right to farm analysis. That's a companion statute in our state, and is intended to allow farmers to maximize what they can with their property for agricultural production. So I think it's consistent with state policies, and unless there's any questions, we will be introducing tonight and then putting it on for September 2nd for second reading and public hearing, and we'll then notice you in the newspaper.
So I have a couple of questions. How is this different than just the right to farm? Because I mean, the way it's written is so overly broad to my understanding. I mean, our definition of agricultural use is basically the growing and harvesting of crops and raising and breeding of livestock with accessory buildings incidental to agricultural uses. Now, and if you break that down, right? Say I have a small 3-acre plot, all right? I want to take the trees off an acre of it. What stops me from planting some tomato plants, right? Claiming it's agricultural now use, right? And then 6 months down the road, just clearing that whole parcel. Because we haven't defined what an agricultural use is, right? I mean, we just say it's any agricultural use, basically by our definition.
So the agricultural use, and I'll be honest with you, it's intended to be broad. If you're not in agreement with that policy, we should have that discussion. But
I don't see what this adds, because the right to farm basically says if you have a farm, you have the right to clear the land by any method you like, really.
what right to farm exempts you from is local zoning. This ordinance is not a zoning ordinance.
And it says right, it says right to farm is,
No, right to farm exempts you from local zoning. If you are aggrieved by a zoning ordinance, you have the ability to go to the county ag board and have your jurisdiction there. This ordinance is a general police power ordinance. It's the same sort of trying to think of some basic examples of like our other police power ordinances, but the things that we regulate relative to,
Grass cutting.
Property maintenance, yeah.
property maintenance, yeah, like, everything that's basically not a zoning ordinance that we have in our ordinance book is general police power stuff. The right to farm does not, and that's the issue I talked about with Sue, is, this person wants to proceed with some clearing. And, I can't provide an opinion that under right to farm, we can grant that. It's not this tree removal issue is not a function of our zoning ordinance, it's part of our general. So. That's the reason why we have to do it. Right to farm doesn't protect them against this ordinance. And then generally speaking, what I have understood from the governing body's position census is the many discussions we had on the tree removal ordinance was that, we're not, we typically have wanted to allow for exceptions and exemptions from the tree removal process and mandate. We provided for exemptions relative to fire safety concerns.
Distance from buildings.
Yeah, distance from buildings, we're trying to create fire breaks, or fall zones,
Right.
so.
I just think this one sentence, any tree removal on land that is agricultural use, I mean, is so broad. Like anybody can claim,
Yeah.
I'm putting a garden out back. So because of that, I'm going to clear the land around it.
Well, I agree with you. It is very broad, but I would also say that before we had, if you go back a year ago, we had no tree removal ordinance mandate. There are Pinelands regulations that may kick in on what the Pioneer regs say about what somebody can do with clearing or not clearing. But from our perspective, we had nothing on the books, and we only put something on the books to comply with the state mandate. So again, to be as generous as possible to the residents who are trying to deal with tree clearing issues, that's the way we drafted it.
Well put. Okay, thank you, Neil. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Do we don't need a motion tonight since that's a first
Yeah,
reading?
We do need to introduce, need a motion to second and a vote
Okay.
on that.
And we have a motion, please.
Yeah, I mean, anything we can do to defang our own ordinance that was brought on by a state mandate, I am in favor of, so I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you.
Mr. Woods,
Yes.
Ms. Mazitis,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson,
No.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
and Mr. DeCroce.
Yes. All right, next we go to the approval of the attached bill list, which seems like a lot of money. I'm going to ask Neil to explain why we're spending $3,738,119.56.
Yes, so it is a lot of money. One of the highest bills I think we've had, but if you go through the numbers, it's the same hit list what we typically get. We have about just over $1 million that's going to Burlington County for their taxes, another $500,000 going to Lenape Regional, another $950,000 going over to the Shamong school taxes, and then we have $1 million in payment for bond anticipation for East Brunswick. Sue, could you explain what that is?
That's the bond that every year we go out to bid for a new bond. So we have to pay off, we're refinancing, we have to pay off last year's bond.
Yeah.
And then borrow.
And then, so we get the money back.
Yes.
So if you add all that up, it actually comes out to just the ones that we have to pay to other people, $3,528,485. That leaves us with $209,000, less than 10% of the entire amount there. You take out $35,000 that we paid to the volunteer fire department, which is for help in purchasing their vehicle, and we're down to about 170. So you keep chipping away at it, and you find out that at the end of the day, we're running the township on a couple of pennies compared to what everybody else is getting. So that's where all the money's going to.
Thank you, Neil. I appreciate it. Lisa, do you have anything to add on that?
No, that was everything I was gonna say.
Sue,
Yeah.
anything you'd like to add on that? Any questions or comments? If not, we have a motion to pay the bills, and if there's no motion, we don't pay the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Thank you.
I will second it, because I know we're getting $1 million back.
Mr. Woods,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson,
Yes.
Ms. Macias,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
and Mr. DeCroce.
Yes, next we go to the reports. Township Engineer, Joe, good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing well. First of all, everybody's wondering, when are they going to open Jackson Road?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, I've been.
It doesn't,
Earlier today, I would have found out.
it doesn't
So-
look like they're doing a whole lot, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I understand they've run into a problem and they're looking at another 8 weeks is what I've
Seriously?
been told, so.
This is a big hole right now in the road.
Yeah, it's not good. And last night, I think there was an accident there. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Chief, you handled that? Anything?
Mile dirt road from there.
Okay,
First and things.
okay. All right. So hopefully, nobody was injured, and thank you for handling that.
Walking down the road, trying to get back to Jackson Road.
Got it. Okay. So if you go off-road and try and take the little jug handle around, you better be careful. Have a 4-wheel drive. What else you got, Joe?
So on the first page of my report, you'll see, DOT, 2020 through 2024, 5 road projects. We finally been able to work with DOT to get everything ready for reimbursement, 5 years worth of DOT grants. The CFO will authorize those online through the PMRS system. And then that's the final checkbox for them to issue the reimbursements to those
Great.
grants.
Okay, good.
Should be a bunch of money that we've been trying to get for a while, so. On the second page there, at Sign Road Phase 3, I have one more review to do of those plans and specs, but everything is done. And then they'll go to DOT for approval to bid. Phase 4, well, we submitted that grant application, so that'll be in the fall. We'll hear, that's item number 9. We did last Monday, I think it was, the dam inspection. So every 2 years, we have to do an inspection of the dam and submit a report to DEP. So we did that inspection. We'll get the report submitted probably in a couple weeks. And then once winter comes and they're able to clear out all those phragmites that are in front of the basin, we'll do kind of a follow-up inspection and submit a supplemental report. It's been pretty consistent the way we've done it
Great.
in the past. The first round of work at the ball fields, that work is complete. I just need to get copies of the payment checks that we approved, I think, last meeting, and then we can submit for reimbursement of that grant. It's a $66,000 grant.
Is that the walking trail mostly?
Yes, yes. And then the Phase 2 portion of that, our survey work is done. We're working on design plans. I will send that over for review before we finalize those, but that's for 3 of the ball fields, some additional path, batting cages. However far we can take the 75,000, we'll take it. So, and that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Township Solicitor, Doug, good evening.
I was going to report on Bighorn, so I've already done that. There's, obviously we talked quite a bit about the Woodgate situation. I'm not sure all the public information that's out there, but as I think you indicated, Mayor, I think we made great progress this month in terms of law enforcement and what that means for the future out there. And then we are, as I said, compiling sort of a history so that the prosecutor and the court have it before them for this proceeding in August. So the record is very clear about how many times the parties have had to come back and what the procedural history has been. So that's all being compiled and will be before the prosecutor for that proceeding. And that's really all I have to report tonight.
All right, thank you, Doug. Township Administrator, good evening, Lisa. Welcome.
New items, we have the Pine Barrens Olympic Tri-Event, September 6th at the Outside Rec area. Valenzuela Wine Fest will be September 20th to 21st. We're trying to schedule another New Jersey Motor Vehicle Mobile office where they come right here to this building and have their mobile unit right outside this fall, again, to process limited services such as real IDs and driver's license renewals, because that went over really well. The Indian Mills Historical Society is doing their Shamong Day, a community day and car show at the Indian Mills Memorial School on Saturday, October 4th, with a rain date of October 5th. And the Burlington County Board of Health will hold a flu shot clinic here in this main meeting room on October 31st from 10 a.m. to noon.
Great. Thank you, Lisa. Anybody have any questions or comments, Elisa or Sue?
Also just note that the 2024 audits just came in today. You have those in your meeting packets, and then we will take final adoption on that at the September meeting.
Okay. Do any information on the circle accident at Route 70 and 72? Had you heard about that?
No, I have not.
Okay, that was a truck that spilled its load earlier in the week at the circle. So that's interesting. We also had another little fender bender right outside here at the corner. So if you're leaving tonight, please take extra care as you're going back. And the other issue is what's going on with our cell service. Okay, we'll bring everybody notice since we have a new cell tower in Shamong, 100 yards from my office. I only have a little half of a bar. It's like 20 years ago when I first moved, 25 years ago when we first tried to use our cell phones, Jay. We had no signal. So I did make a call. The cell tower is up. It has electric. And I've been told by Verizon it's going to be another 6 to 8 weeks before they get things configured. So if you're noticing that your cell service is a little bad, we got a new tower. I had a call with Judge Bookbinder, who was the judge on that tower, and he said, DeCroce, I got your cell tower for you. I said, well, and then the call dropped. I had to call back and say, I did not hang up with you on your honor. So be a little patient on that. Hopefully that'll work out. Okay, now at this point, we open it back up for a public comment. Anybody have any questions or comments? Please come forward and you will be heard. Mr. Lyons, good evening.
John Lyons, Office of Emergency Management. No report tonight for OEM. I did want to share because Charlie Bergen's on vacation. Just wanted to do a quick report, but personally want to just thank the committee for the proclamations tonight. I know that the one for Bill, certainly near and dear to my heart. And what people didn't hear, and if you saw the proclamation, you saw the size of it. It's humbling and amazing to see how many agencies came to Shamong that night to help fight that fire and protect our town. And we felt it was important to recognize that. So appreciate administration's help in putting that together. Got all the information I needed from Chief Bader to author that, and copies will be sent out to all the agencies out there. And I just think it's a nice way to show them that we recognize and appreciate.
Why don't you read them into the record, John?
Yeah, sure. I'll have to get my readers. It's too small, but I do appreciate that. With Charlie being on vacation, I just wanted to mention that we did process the Assistance to Firefighters DCA grant, which was the New Jersey grant, which I think came from recovery money originally. $73,000 worth of equipment was purchased over the last calendar year for the fire company. That was funded first by the fire company, reimbursed by the township, and now Sue and I'll go back to the state to get that money reimbursed to the township. But I imagine there's nothing on the radar that I see that looks even remotely close to that. Brian, if you see anything renewal for that, we appreciate that. That's the kind of stuff that allows us to buy equipment that, as you all know, the state and the federal government and NFPA and other regulations, OSHA require you to have, and there's just really not a lot of funding to do so. And it's extremely expensive equipment. So it was very helpful to have that in place.
I can ask DCA if they plan on renewing it. I'll let you know.
That would be wonderful. So that was in place. The 35,000, which is on the bill list that Neil mentioned tonight for the truck was ordered. We anticipate within the next few weeks taking delivery of that. We'll use the money as well as money that we've taken back from the grant to be able to purchase that outright. So there'll be no debt in order for us to do that. And in so doing, retiring the Ruckety command truck that you've all seen. So appreciate the extra money for that. We know we had a lot of discussion around that, and we just appreciate partnering with you. I wanted to just recognize that. Tonight is National Night Out over in Medford. All of my volunteers from the Pineland CERT are over there without me. Normally, this is the one meeting a year that I tend to miss because I go over in there with them, but I wanted to be here for the proclamations tonight. So I'm glad to see my kids are over there without Daddy. It's very good to see that. And they're out interacting with the public, giving them information about preparedness and recruiting more membership for the Pineland CERT. Our raffles were approved by the state, so we're now at the point where we're ready to print and are ordering our tickets. So the Indian Mills Volunteer Fire Company will have its first ever 50-50 cash raffle, and the winner will be pulled on our fire prevention night, which we'll get the dates for that. It's the second Thursday in October, and we'll process the paperwork for that event. We're hoping to kind of get the outcome participation to that up in anticipation, but we have agreement from Winefest and some other venues locally that we're going to be selling tickets between now and the October event. And hopefully we'll have a nice pot, and the money from that is going to help offset the remainder budget shortfall that we have for this vehicle purchase that we have. So
Shamong Day
that
and
goes well. And-
October 4 might be a good.
yeah,
talk to
we're
Neil
gonna
about
be,
that.
we've already got an invitation, both fire company and the CERT membership to be there. We're gonna be right next to their tent. We'll make our ticket sales available there as well.
Great.
So we're looking forward to that. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share those updates. Any
Thanks,
questions?
John. We appreciate you as always. Thank you for coming out to downtown Shamong the other night.
Absolutely.
And after that, before or after is when we saw somebody waltzing around the law office for about an hour. And did you get the pictures of that guy?
I did, and I shared them with the administrative sergeant up at Red Lion.
Appreciate it. Okay. Thank you, John. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Chief, you want to say something?
The only point of interest I have is, our company is holding a community CPR class on Saturday from 10 to 12, 1 o'clock. It's free of charge for Shamong Township residents and anybody that works in Shamong. So if anybody's interested, there's a sign up link on our Facebook page. So obviously there's so many seats available.
Got it. Okay, good. That's a great program. All right, excellent. Anybody else on the dais have anything to say? Okay, with that, we're going to close this portion to the public comment. Thank you all for coming. We're going to go into executive session, and I understand. Is that still necessary?
Yes.
In executive session, we may take some action. We may not. Either way, you're welcome to stand around and wait around. And when we come back in, we'll let you know if we've taken any action in the executive session, and if so, what that was. Thank you very much, everyone.
Just for the record, we're going in for contract negotiations.
We do need a vote on that.
Can we have a motion?
I'd like to motion to go into executive session.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Ms. Mazitas? Yes. Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes. Back. All right, we're back on the record after an executive session discussing various items, which we'll ask our solicitor to discuss for the record.
So we are currently under an agreement with Tabernacle Rescue Squad for emergency management services. There is a companion agreement that we have with Tabernacle Township that has to do with insurance related to those coverages. The agreement provides for a 90-day termination provision on either side. This resolution would exercise that provision on behalf of the township and put Tabernacle Rescue Squad on notice of termination of the agreement. One of the elements of that agreement is paragraph 6, which includes language about if there is a termination, then all of the equipment that was supplied pursuant to that agreement by the township shall be returned to the township. And there is language in this resolution to specify that we are demanding the return of that equipment.
Do we need a motion on this evening?
We do.
Any questions or comments? If not, can we have a motion?
Make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Ms. Mazitas?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
And Mr. DeCroce?
Yes. Any other action that was taken in the executive session?
No, there's no further action. When we are prepared to present additional information relative to EMS coverage, Sue and administration and I will be back before the governing body to represent what we have to offer, and the governing body will take formal action at that time.
Before we continue, do you want to check the hallway to make sure, see if
Sure.
anybody's here that, and we can repeat all that if they're here? Thank you. All right, great. So nobody here that stayed after executive session. So we're resolved for this evening, all at 9 o'clock. I thank everybody for being so efficient. And Lisa, great job on your first night handling it. And the only other thing is we had a live fire seminar here about a week ago, because some of you may have heard we had a little incident in town. So this thing, I understand, has a metal plate. So the first thing you do is duck. We got Megan at the end. She's not going to let anybody by, and Sue's not going to let anybody. You're going to be on your own,
I
Doug.
thought you were sending him out to the hallway for safety.
So you boys.
So if anybody has a license to carry, you have my permission to bring it. But just mostly be aware that we have some undesirables in town. Their feathers are ruffled. So you need to be aware of your surroundings, and I want to make sure everybody's safe. With that, can we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, you're officially allowing.
Good job, Lisa.